Hey y'all, how y'all doing? It's your girl Georgette and I am here with the highly requested Q&A video. So I am going to take some time today to answer some of your very important questions, and also I'm going to take some time to open up with you all as it took some growing to get here, but I'm really excited to be answering you all's questions. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm not going to waste no time. Let's jump in. But do not forget to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe for more content. Question number 1, what is Samba and what are its origins? Samba is an Afro-Brazilian genre of dance and music that has its roots in African traditions. Due to the enslavement of Africans and during the slave trade was brought to the state of Bahia. And these traditions typically derive from the Congo and Angola. And these traditions influence the creation of Samba de Roda in Bahia. What is Samba de Roda? Samba de Roda is a dance circle that includes drumming and singing. It is really important to note that during its creation, Samba was heavily criticized and criminalized by the Brazilian government for 2 reasons. Number 1, they did not approve of any large gatherings of Afro-Brazilians. Number 2, they thought that Samba's incorporation of African drums was a connection to African codes. As more Afro-Brazilians migrated to Rio de Janeiro after the abolition of slavery, Samba became a modernly structured genre to include the creation of community events, pagodes, and which led to the creation of our beloved Samba schools. Samba today is mostly performed by Afro-Brazilians in the state of Bahia, Rio de Janeiro, and in Sao Paulo. And Samba is the battery, is the heartbeat of Carnival. And thanks to these Samba schools that put on these spectacular shows every single year, it is not only about the costumes and the beautiful colors that you see. The Samba schools take so much time and effort to tell the story of the Afro-Brazilians and of other cultures around Brazil, of the movements, of the resistance of the people, of the trials and the tribulations, but also to celebrate the triumphs that the pillars of those communities saw to it that Samba did not die. And they also incorporate different religious practices in those parades as well. And just to bring back another note, Samba today is Brazil's most famous dance, even despite it being heavily criminalized at one point during its creation. So that is Samba. There's more information on Samba as well. It's so much information into Samba's creation, and I highly recommend that you all take some time to do more research and dig a little bit deeper into what Samba is. Next question. How did you find Samba and what was your process for getting into Samba culture? So we're gonna break that question down into 2 parts. So I left college, okay? I danced all my life. Elementary school, middle school, high school, marching band, every single thing, okay? Cheerleading. I did all the things, okay? And so when I left college, I just started working, and I came home one day just feeling so empty. Like I just felt like there was no purpose in my life. I had no outside extracurricular activities. I would just go home and then wake up, go to work, and it was just the same cycle every single day. And one day I just had enough. So after that enough, I just came home. It was one day I came home and I broke down, and I was just like, I need something that is going to fulfill my life. I need to be filled again. Like I just felt so empty. I had no expression, just work. And something came to me and said, you need to dance again. And I was like, that's a good idea. So once that came to my mind, I started looking up some things, because then more started coming out. It was like, you need something that's gonna build connection, something that is, going to make you feel fulfilled and bring in that confidence, because I was really struggling with that at that time. And I was led to find a dance that would bring those things for me. And so, I got on my computer and I started looking up dances for women of the diaspora, so that way I can connect and build and do something that is as close to my roots as possible. With that being said, I found a list of dances for women of the diaspora, and I found a list of 20 different dances. And I went all the way down the list, and at the bottom was Brazilian Samba. And once I got to that, I was looking at everything else like salsa, bachata, and I loved it, but it wasn't like clicking at the time. It wasn't clicking then. But when I got down to Brazilian Samba, I was like, I've never heard of that before. I was like, what is that? And so I started looking it up, and then of course I came across like ballroom samba, and I was just like, this isn't the exact roots that I was thinking of. But lo and behold, a couple of videos down, I found a video of some passistas in Rio, and baby, let me tell you something. They exuded confidence, strength, and femininity like never before. I was floored, okay? And I watched that video over and over again. It was almost like I was glued to the computer. I could not stop watching this video. And by the way, I watched a video, my first video was of the passistas of Paraíso do Tuiuti. And now I'm a passista of Paraíso do Tuiuti. Anyway, so I was in awe of these women. They were strong, they were black, they were feminine, they had posture, they had poise, they had attitude, they had diva, they had pizzazz, they had everything. There was the whole package, body, skin, fantasias, just bam, everything was just, and I was like, well, and I'm telling you, something in my head was like, that's it, that's you, that's you, that's what you need to do. And I was like, what? So immediately I go to Google and I start looking up classes in Atlanta, and baby, there were no classes. And I was just like, how am I supposed to learn? Like, what am I supposed to do? So I was just watching videos, y'all. I just watched videos until the end of time. Like, I was just watching 2 a.m., 3 a.m., constantly watching videos. And I would get out the bed and just be stomping this ground. And I know my neighbors, I have a townhouse, but I know my neighbors was like, what is she doing? Why is she up at 3 a.m. dancing? But y'all, this dance spoke to me like no other dance did. And the second part was, what was your process for getting into Samba culture? So first things first was, I was very adamant about finding a community and finding classes in my area. And since there weren't any classes at the time, and this was pre-COVID, so there weren't a lot of online classes either, I went ahead and just, continued to learn on my own. And then when I did find classes or I did find a group, I made sure to connect myself with them. For communities in your area is a great start to that question, is getting into the culture. And then I'll elaborate a little bit more on the Brazil part. Woo, child. Let me wet the whistle. Y'all loaded me up with questions. I'm gonna need a part 2. Smooth is so good. Oh my God. Ooh. Next question. Do you exercise outside of Samba to maintain, or does this dance give you all the fitness you need? To 100% be honest with you, this dance gives me all of the fitness that I need. I dance Samba at least 4 to 5 times a week. So that's my cardio. And also I've learned to engage certain muscles in my body. So that gives me that muscle definition in my back and in my arms, different things like that. So I've learned like that body mastery and how to use Samba to gain muscle in my legs and my butt, keep my thighs right. Now I've started going back to the gym, but that is not my original regimen. I just dance Samba. So Samba is just enough for me, just because it is very strong on the core, your back, your hips, your arms, and your legs. So it is a full body dance, y'all. You need your whole body to dance Samba. Your whole body. Your whole body. Next question. How do you use Samba to connect with people? I use Samba to connect with people. For one, it helps me build community and it helps me work with others. And I have students here in Atlanta as well, and it has been amazing to connect with them through Samba. because dance community has a way of connecting people that's different than any other community, if you ask me. You're coming weekly, you are, you know, breaking barriers together, you're both learning, you're both growing. And when I'm performing samba, like, I'm connecting with the audience, I'm making them smile, I'm, you know, bringing in that energy and exchanging the energy. And to me, samba is all about an exchange, especially the way carnival is set up and aligned, where, you know, you are parading, you are dancing for people in your community, you are dancing for your school, you're dancing for the world, like in front of the world. So it's impossible for you not to connect with someone unless you're just looking away the entire time. Teaching, definitely using that to uplift other women and men that are learning to dance, that are looking for confidence, that are looking for some of the things that I was looking for when I first started looking at a way to, you know, to release into dance. And so with all of those things combined, Samba has allowed me to, you know, connect with people, learn about their stories, learn about how they learn, what are they going through in their life, and has allowed me to learn how to listen and how to be attentive to people, and then also find a way to connect with them through this dance. So whether one class, they might need a diva class because they just need some confidence, or they might need a class where they're just, you know, relaxed because they had a long day at work. So it's helped me listen to people more and see people in a different light. So that is how Samba allows me to connect with people. And then also, you know, culturally, you know, we're sharing like languages and different dances. And so it's been amazing to have Samba to connect with different parts of the world as well. Because I do travel the world. I'm an international Samba dancer, so I do travel the world to teach classes. And so I've, you know, been able to connect with people all around the world, in Africa and Canada and Brazil, so, and here in the States as well. Next question. So how was I accepted as an American? I was accepted pretty well, to be honest with you, because like I said in the other question, I am a Black American. I did not come there with any motive to, you know, exploit or anything like that. I came with everything in my heart just to learn and connect and grow, and just to experience and be able to share a culture with another Black community that is outside of ours. And I wanted to learn more about what makes us the same instead of focusing on our differences. And even though we do have those, and, you know, we address those through a cultural exchange that we had, we are definitely more alike than we are different. And it was just amazing to experience that. And on their side, it was amazing for them to experience me as a Black American woman, because I said before, there wasn't a lot of women of color from America coming to Brazil to parade, and also being in the Pasista Ala and like being truly involved by showing up to rehearsals and going out to events with them and just hanging out. It wasn't something that that was normal at that time. And, you know, just like me seeing on TV, not a lot of representation of Black or Afro-Brazilians. They were not able to truly meet a Black American woman. They would see us on TV and things like that, but they never met in person. So to me, it was an amazing experience. And for them as well, from the feedback that I've gathered, that it was a pleasure to, you know, finally meet somebody that was Black from America and to be able to share some of the values that we have here, some of the things that we went through as Blacks here in America. And then also, you know, I was able to learn what they go through as well, and to be able to walk through their communities. And, you know, we were able to just, you know, advise each other, whether it's culturally or mentally or spiritually. So I was pretty widely accepted as being a Black American woman going to Brazil to parade as a pasista. All right, next question. My experience with native Samba dancers. So my experience with native Samba dancers have actually been pretty light. And I've been able to interact with the community there. Just because my first time that I arrived in Rio, there wasn't a lot of internationals traveling to Rio, and especially of color. And so my arrival in Brazil was a shock to me just as much as it was to them. And I was able to connect with them on a different level just because there wasn't a lot of women of color from the world coming into Rio to dance Samba. And they saw how dedicated that I was and how respectful that I was of the culture. And a lot of the native Samba dancers really took me under their wing and showed me, showed me around Rio, showed me how to be involved in the community there, how to interact with the other pacistas, even though I did not know Portuguese 100%. And so yeah, my experience with native Samba dancers have been great. Of course, there are some experiences that I have that were not as pleasant. However, I was able to navigate through those, either A, by, going to somewhere where I am accepted, or B, just saying like, whatever, I'm already here. You're gonna have people that are not gonna be approving of your presence, but of course you have to just, you just have to keep going and know why you're there, and just make sure you remain respectful. You know what I'm saying? Interact, be kind, and share love, share culture. Like that's really what all of this is about. Going there and, sharing some of my knowledge with them, and then vice versa. And, creating opportunities there and here. So yeah, that's it. Okay, next. Do your hips hurt like hell? When I am training, yes, they do. Now, since I've been dancing for a long time and training hips for a while, they do not hurt as much as they did when I first started. However, yes, when I am training, I intentionally extend the location of my hips for a reason. So yes, they do hurt still, and I make sure to feel the pain so that way I know that I am doing the exercises correctly, okay? So yes, my hips do hurt. Now when I'm dancing though, they don't really hurt unless, again, I am doing some extra extensions. Okay. All right, so that's all for the first round of questions. I will definitely be doing a Q&A for round 2. There were a lot more questions, but I'll definitely be doing a round 2 of questions pretty soon. So please stay tuned for that. Do not forget to hit the thumbs up button and like this video. And if you have any questions that you want to ask, please feel free to drop down in the comments below. It was such a pleasure to answer these questions. These questions really made me dig deep to answer these and be able to give you all the most honest and truthful answer. My journey, as much as my hair is big, I have a lot of different things that I would love to share with you all. And of course, different things about my life and what I go through dance. I definitely want to share those things with you all because I believe that those will help you in your journey. And again, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you soon. Ciao for now.